Hi guys, my name's Bex and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you the books that I bought in the month of March. In the month of March, I splurged a little bit and I got a total of 18 books to show you today. However, I am going to go through them as quickly as possible so you do not get bored with my video. 3 of these books I received in book subscription services, the rest I bought myself, and 1 I received from the publisher. I'm really excited to show you guys these books and I hope you enjoy them. So without further ado, let's get into them. The first book I want to show you this month is Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. And this book was recommended to me by Ellie from Fanatical Fantasy, who is my friend on Bookstagram. I will link her down below. And it's absolutely fantastic. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And this follows Yelena Zoltana, who is on the list for execution for some crimes she has committed. That being said, she is given an ultimatum, either to become the king's food taster who tests the king's food for poisons before he eats it, or to be hung. So this story follows her and the decisions she makes, and it's a very plot-driven book. I definitely recommend it, and I will link my wrap-up up there somewhere where you can, if you want to know more, you can go look into. But Poison Study is great, and I can't wait to get the next book, which is Magic Study. The next book I purchased was The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas, and this is another book that I've already read and gave 5 stars because it's absolutely phenomenal. This book delves into the Black Lives Matter movement and follows a girl named Star who witnesses her best friend be shot by a police officer and killed, knowing well that her best friend was unarmed. It's a moving story, it's very heartwarming, and I definitely recommend it. And it's very powerful, and I think the power comes from everyone knowing that this is real and this happens, and this is happening in America all the time. So definitely pick it up and have a read and see if you like The Hate U Give. The next book I'm going to be talking about is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, and I got this one this month too, and I'm excited to read this one. I haven't read an Adam Silvera book yet, but there have been a lot of raving going on in the book community, so I'm excited to dive into this one. This story follows Griffin, whose best friend / ex-boyfriend has just died. This story follows Griffin dealing with his grief and meeting Theo's current boyfriend, and I think those pair work through their grief together. I believe this book flips between the present and the past, so I can't wait to read History Is All You Left Me. The next book is Winter Song by S.J. Jones, and I'm excited to read this one. I don't really know much of a premise because I bought it because of this cover. This story follows Liesel, who has heard tales of the beautiful, dangerous Goblin King. The way I read it is Liesel's sister is taken by the Goblin King, and now Liesel must journey to the underground to save her sister. This one seems really interesting. It seems like it's got a lot going for it. Not only like we've got a sister relationship here, but I think there's a little bit more to this one, so I'm excited to read it. Next up on my purchase list was The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. And I bought this one because there was like a teaser for it in the Fairy Loot for February. And it's about a girl named Flora who has amnesia. She can't remember what happens day to day. However, then she kisses somebody she shouldn't, and the next day she remembers kissing that person. However, that person is now gone, and I believe she's trying to track down why she remembers this boy and what he has to do with her and maybe getting her amnesia back. I'm not really sure, but it sounds freaking cool. Next book I purchased is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and this one also has been raved about. And was on sale from Book Depository for $8, so I had to jump in on that train. Don't know much about this one either, so I'll read the back a little bit. When Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want. A small, quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far-off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. Well, that's exciting. I think the Wayfarer goes into space, so I'm feeling some sci-fi vibes, and I'm excited about that. That's about all I know about this one. It sounds cool though. Next up on my purchase list is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find It by Newt Scamander by J.K. Rowling, and I'm excited about this one. I've read this one already. It's in my wrap-up like everything else. Absolutely love this book. I actually bought this on audiobook and in the little hardcover copy here. I've read it, it's fantastic. It's really, if you want to get more in-depth information about the magical beasts that you saw in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I definitely recommend diving into this one. It has like dragons and stuff, so I don't know why you wouldn't want it. Next up, All Fall Down by Ali Carter, and this book was like $5 off a bookstore in town, which was really cool. Don't know much about it either. I saw $5 and was like, oh yeah, righto, I'll give it a go. And this is the first in an Embassy Row novel by Ali Carter, which is pretty interesting. And I'll just read a bit of the back because I don't really know what's about, but it says, Grace Blakely is absolutely certain of 3 things. 1, she is not crazy. 2, her mother was murdered. 3, someday she is going to find the killer and make him pay. That's all I need to know about it going into this one, guys. It sounds really, really cool, and I'm hoping I like it. The next book is Frog Kisser by Garth Nix, and this book was my March YA Chronicles box book, and look at that cover, it looks really intriguing, and I believe this is a fairy tale retelling of The Princess and the Frog. Yeah, so Princess Anya needs to see a wizard about a frog. It's not her frog, it's her sister's frog, and it's not a frog, it's a prince. So it seems like a really chill fairy tale retelling. I'm really excited about it. I'm not a big frog fan, so the cover of this book makes me like really, really nervous. Next up, I have The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and this is 1001 Nights retelling, I believe, maybe? Yeah, a 1001 Nights retelling. And it follows Shahrazad, I believe, and she is the first person to ever volunteer to be the Khalid's wife. And basically, he takes a different wife every night, and every night they die. Or they are killed by him. So it's going to be really, really interesting, and I think she's the first person to survive the first night. These are one of the new covers I found, which are really, really cool, because I didn't like those hard covers, but I love this. Next I have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, and this one has been raved about by Emma from Emma Books, so I'll leave her link down below as well. So this book follows Adam, who has landed a role as aide to the psychologist for his school in his last year of school, I believe. Yes, in his senior year. And he meets Julian, who happens to be a foster child that he used to know, who he hasn't seen in years. And this is a story of them coming back together, and I guess them finding out that they're not the same people they were back then, and how they deal with that. So I'm really excited about this one. Emma raves about it. I think she gave it 5 stars. So I can't wait to dive in and see if I like this one just as much as she did. Also, Naked, it's phenomenal. Next up is the book that I received in my February Fairy Loot, and that is Empress of a Thousand Skies by Rhoda Belleza. Now this follows Princess Rhi, who is the sole survivor of an ancient bloodline. She is seen as something delicate, a thing to be reserved and protected until she comes of age to rule as Empress. But Rhi has other plans. So I believe this is like a revenge sort of novel where she's plotting to kill the people who killed her family. I think this is her story to also reclaim her throne. That sounds awesome, and I can't wait to start this one. Also, I love the cover of this one. It's like darkness and then the light, and there's also a face in it. Can anyone see that? Look at that. That's amazing. Next up is the book that I received in the Outbreak for March, and that is Daughter of a Pirate King by Trisha Levin Stella. And the excitement I have for this book, guys, is real because I fucking love pirates, and I'm so excited to read a book about the daughter of the Pirate King. She's kick-ass. I believe she gets captured intentionally to retrieve a hidden treasure map. All pirate stories should go that way, shouldn't they? So I'm really excited to read this one, and yes to pirates. Next up, I am showing you The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco, and this is one of my highly anticipated reads for the first half of the year, and I'm so excited about it. And this follows T, who has a gift of necromancy, which means she can bring people back from the dead, and I believe she accidentally brings her brother back from the dead. Since she is a bone witch and can bring people back from the dead, she is very feared in the witch community, and I believe she has to go live with another bone witch and train to become an Asher, because there are dark and powerful forces that are in this world. So really excited, and a really beautiful cover. Next up is a little bit of an embarrassing one, but I bought Wise and Nerds by Marissa Meyer, which isn't embarrassing, except I haven't read the Lunar Chronicles, and I didn't realize that this is following that, so you can't read this unless you've read them, and I haven't read them. So I've got this beautiful hardcover, which I can't read. I'm not going to tell you anything about this one because I don't want to spoil myself, I don't want to spoil you, and I should have read the Lunar Chronicles first. Whoops. Next is the book I received from the publisher, and I received Spellslinger by Sebastian D. Cassiel from Allen and Unwin, so thank you very, very much to Allen and Unwin for sending me this. And this story revolves around Kellen, who is moments away from going into a Mage's Duel, except for the fact that he has no magic. I guess it would make it hard to be in a magic duel without magic, but I can't wait to read this one. I'm so excited I received it, and I love the illustration on the front here. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and there's a cat. It says here, first in a rich and compelling fantasy series bursting with tricks, traps, and a devious talking squirrel cat. I don't know if that's enough to make everyone read it, but it should be. Talking Cat. We are down to the last 2 books that I purchased in the month of March. I have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and I'm so excited about this one. I actually ordered this one in freaking like December or November last year because blue stained pages, and there's an illustrated page and it's signed by Laini Taylor, so I'm so excited about this one. I'm not going to go into it much because I can't really explain it, but I honestly, this is so much beautiful in person than it is on camera, I believe. It's absolutely amazing. But I'll just read the back, which says, "It was impossible, of course, but when did that ever stop any dreamer from dreaming?" Really excited to read this. This has been raved about, and I believe it follows Laszlo and his search for the city of Weep. But that's about all I know, and that's all I want to know going into this one. And the last book I purchased in the month of March was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, the hardcover. I'm excited about this one. I just reread A Court of Mist and Fury in April to make sure I am ready for A Court of Wings and Ruin that comes out on May 2nd, and I'm so excited for. And every time I read this book, I love it more. Every time I get into more detail, and I just can't wait for ACOWAR to come out. I bet you can't wait for ACOWAR to come out, but yes. All my favorite things are in hardcover. That is all the books that I purchased in the month of March. I'm not going to stand here with them because they're heavy and I already did that for the thumbnail. I hope you enjoyed the books that I purchased. Now this will be my last massive haul. I am now on a 3-to-1 book buying ban that Jade from JD Ray Reads, who I'll link below, put me on because I have a problem. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and comment to me down below if you've read any of the books that I bought this month, if you like any of the books, if you'd want to read them, tell me, comment, let's talk about books. See you guys next time. Bye!